Hello, you're listening to the Otaku Network podcast. My name is Steve.
And I'm David.
And we are into week 7 of the 2026 winter anime season. And boy howdy, do we have a lot of things to unpack with this episode of Journal with Witch. Much like last week, this week's episode starts off with the journal that Asa's mother wrote for her. This time, Asa finds it hidden within Makio's room. Then the rest of the first half of the episode is a dinner date of sorts with Asa and her best friend Emily and Emily's mother and Makio. This section primarily focuses on Emily's mother being nosy, but nosy in a constructive manner in regards to Makio and her relationship with Asa. Or maybe not necessarily a relationship, but her current importance in Asa's life. And at one point, she comments about something in regards to Makio now being Asa's parent, which Makio rejects and tells her, there's no way I can be her parent. At best, I'm her guardian. I can't replace her parents in any manner, nor can I continue their efforts to mold her into the human being they wanted to mold her into, which caught Emily's mother off guard, but she thoughtfully took in this response and didn't reject it, outright. Then as the dinner date kind of shifts to Emily and Asa leaving on their own accord to go buy new swimsuits, we start to dig more into Asa's mental state. How it feels like she's really starting to fight against the world around her, be combative with everything around her. And at the same time, we also keep cutting back to a conversation that Kasamachi and Daigo are having in regard to Kasamachi and Makio's current relationship status and all three of their past, in the recent years, and coming to terms between each other, how each felt about the other. Where Kasamachi being a fish out of water in regards to Makio's friend group felt that when he and Makio broke up that he was considered the bad guy, and that at least Daigo, being quote-unquote Makio's best friend, truly hated him for how things transpired. Then we get a very revealing segment as Makio is contemplating just how her sister felt internally about the world around her and the way that she was presented towards the world, particularly in relationship to how Emily's mother viewed her. Because at one point, Makio asks her to tell her about what her sister was like because she had cut herself off from her sister for so long. And we find out that Asa's parents were never wed. We get a snapshot of a conversation that Asa's mother had with her father and how detached and uninvolved he truly was. He was just there as financial support and stability for, raising this child that he ended up creating, assumedly unintentionally, with Asa's mother. And the impact of Asa's mother regarding the way that her life ended up compared to how strongly she tried to present this idealized member of society based upon her standards. And the idea that she was just flailing around, failing in her own mind, and may not have had any amount of self-love or motive. I don't know. It seems like she was weighed down by a lot of failure in her own mind. And with Asa's anger towards how her mother dealt with her and her stern attitude, same way that Makio hated her mother, on top of the continued betrayal as she sees it from Makio as well, Asa is backing herself into a corner of anger and frustration that I'm sure is being amplified by the grief that she's still struggling to try to figure out. I can't think of a more realistically potent anime I've ever seen.
It's very good.
Like just the realism,
yeah,
and the character portrayals.
There's a lot of realism coming from just everybody. Asa is like this teenager who is very quickly falling apart from due to a lack of true parental support from either her mother when she was alive.
Yeah, I was going to say
from Makio.
Even before her mother died,
we're finding out that Asa's dad was kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah, just a paycheck, essentially.
Yeah, just a lump on the couch that didn't really love either of them.
I thought it was really telling when she was talking about how whenever the three of them would go out to dinner, her father would never talk, as if he was just there by himself.
Yeah. It's just, dude is a... I got very upset by that.
Yeah. Yeah, as you should be. You know, that's a normal human reaction.
Asa is falling apart.
She needs
therapy.
Girl needs therapy, 100%. Makio needs therapy too, Jesus Christ.
And that whole family. Even their mom.
Oh, their moms.
The grandma needs a therapy too.
Grandma's entire existence is probably that whole post-World War denial of reality kind of thing. Like, you know, just dutiful wife, keep the house running, regardless of everything that's tragic happening to you or around you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Off the top of my head, I can't think of a more profound and realistic drama that I've encountered in the anime and manga sphere. There's been a lot of other ones, but my God, I can't think of anything, and I'm sure it'll come to me later, that's just so deeply realistic and vastly compelling due to that. Yeah, I think that's a really good way to sum up this series. It's incredibly compelling.
Yes.
Like just the dissertation of complicated human relationships. So when we first met Asa, she was this shell-shocked, kind of quiet mouse-like character. And over the episodes, we've obviously begun to see a more realistic version of her as she's become somewhat comfortable in her current situation and she feels that she can be more natural.
Outgoing.
And unlike pretty much every teenager in anime, she's not a caricature. She is a believable example of a complex adolescent, regardless of the depth of trauma and misery that she's trying to process. And I think that's one of the strongest things for this show is how the characters really are not archetypes. They're multifaceted. Even Kazamachi.
Yeah.
Like the conversation between him and Daigo was so telling. It looked like you were just watching a conversation between two people that existed in reality.
Mm-hmm.
Like the level of realism is unparalleled and so worth it.
Very good.
After I finished this episode, I had to stop. I couldn't move on to Jujutsu Kaisen. I spent about an hour just doing mindless things to kind of mull over what I had taken in. And I still don't know if I've been able to process all of it yet.
I watched JJK first and then I watched this. Like right before I went to bed.
That seems like a terrible idea.
No, I slept just fine.
Oh, okay. It would have taken me a while to fall asleep because I would have been thinking about it too much.
I mean, I was just thinking about it and that's what it helped me sleep.
Fair. All right, we're moving on to something less heady. Next episode of Jujutsu Kaisen.
The fight between Fushiguro and Kirara comes to a head along with Panda, but Panda just is Panda. Shit hits the fan. Fushiguro needs to basically figure out what Kirara's curse technique is. And through the fight, we basically just learn through evolution that her curse technique is based on a constellation and the distance between the constellations and the order in which they fall so that people can... if you figure out the correct order of approaching these cursed things, you can then break through their curse technique.
She makes things unapproachable.
Yes, but if you can figure it out, everything can be approachable. You just have to do it in the correct sequence.
And they don't necessarily want to fight with her. Like, they try to, like, look, we're here for your help.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I don't believe you. We're like, well, I guess it's fighting. It is.
And then they resolve the fight, and then Yuji gets his ass beat by Hakari. And, he basically tells Yuji that he'll listen to him as long as he's standing. And Yuji stands his ground and convinces Dude that they're on the same team, and he agrees to help him. The end. Not a lot to unpack there.
They really didn't need all 22 minutes to tell this episode.
No.
Way stretched out. Way pointless.
Yeah, there's a lot of just nothing fighting.
This was pretty empty. Like, it didn't do anything.
Yeah, that is the problem that I have with JJK sometimes, is that it'll stretch a fight out with, like, explaining all this stuff.
At least it usually contains it to a single episode instead of half a season like some shows are apt to do.
Dragon Ball.
One Piece.
Yeah.
It still doesn't make it any better, though. But like I've said, JJK is just faster shonen, but it still suffers from all of the shonen problems. Or at least the things that I think are problems within shonen. There are people who that's their greatest joy, and I can't necessarily hate on them for that. A man. It ain't my buttered toast. I can't. It was so pointless.
Yeah, it was really, really pointless.
And then like the girl's power was stupid. What was the point of the entire like solving the riddle thing when he just literally just solved it? It's like no clues or anything. It's like, oh yeah, I figured it out. Well, okay, there were clues. There were the names of the stars essentially, but it's like, Jesus. Oh, this is so dumb. It was so dumb.
Panda was cute though. Panda, is there a name on you somewhere?
It rolled over and it's on his ass. I loved it in the beginning part when they're doing Metal Gear Solid action. And like he's just in the hallway rolling with the tire. They're like, oh, it's the panda. And he's like, crack, crack, crack.
You want a, what was it, a fish cake or something?
Yeah, they're offering him like a sausage or something, but yeah. Oh, pandas don't eat meat? He's like, I will totally eat this. After he, lays them out. I forgot to look up who the voice actor for Hikari is. I recognized that voice in the Japanese.
Yeah, I recognized it too. It had to be something that we watched.
I think it might be the same dude who did Mugen in Samurai Champloo. I think that's the same guy. I have to look it up.
There's not a lot to talk about with JJK.
Yeah, it was kind of sad. Let's move on to My Hero
Something
Academia.
that has stuff to talk about.
Yeah, My Hero Academia.
So we continue on with the Aizawa backstory. We learn that he and Son
Goku
Luffy get recruited to the same agency as Your Highness Your Purple Highness, who's basically just Prince.
It's Prince. The purple one.
Yeah. They show them fighting a smoking villain, because smoking's bad, okay? And we basically get the backstory of where Aizawa got his idea for goggles, so that his eyes don't get irritated, so that his power is actually useful and can't be can't be interrupted.
Yeah, seeing as his power is triggered by eye contact or viewing.
Yeah, so we got some more scenes of Miss Midnight in her very questionable outfit. And we got introduced to probably the funniest character this season, which is Your Highness, who is just Prince and shoots nipple lasers and is
Positive.
very positive.
Toxically positive.
Very sing-songy. In English, he was hilarious. Yeah.
He felt like something out of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Not gonna lie.
And then we get totally not death flags of a Son Luffy telling us that they're gonna form their own agency together. And then, yeah, there wasn't a ton to the episode. It's just like,
not really, no.
Aizawa becoming more confident in himself. They fight their classmate that's a dickhead, show that they're a really good team, and then end episode. Oh, and then we see that Son Luffy's probably gonna die.
Yeah, post-credit scene of like an apocalypse disaster.
Along with Prince.
I was a bit surprised that we were going to get a third episode within this backstory. It's really interesting that this season has decided to move far away from actually dealing with its main characters. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but what was a lot of people's complaint when it got announced that the series was going to come out, that it was just going to be the best of characters from the main series providing cameos to lift up the story? That at this point, that's kind of what's happening.
Yeah. It's mainly just been Aizawa, though.
It has been the Aizawa season.
Yeah. Which I'm not upset with.
I'm not upset about it either.
I really like Shota.
Yeah, he's a fun character. A little emo, grumpy man.
He's always been my favorite character in just regular MHA too, because he is just also still grumpy and a monster there. Maybe we'll find out why he never sleeps.
Maybe. No, the episode was fun. Not a lot to it, yeah.
Yeah, not a lot. But it was fun. It was great.
It was very entertaining. But yeah, surprised the hell out of me that we're going to get at least a third part to this arc.
I know.
And, we'll see the tragic birth of the hero that we know, I'm assuming.
Probably.
Through the death of his friend.
The very grumpy, borderline vigilante that is Aizawa.
I don't work with anybody. Yeah, because, the last person you worked with died.
The last person you worked with that you didn't want to die died.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm pretty sure he would have been okay if Present Mike died. I hate that Presence Mike power is just him going, yeah!
With megaphones.
Yes.
I don't understand it. I don't want to understand it. I don't care to understand it.
It's because he has like the supersonic screech, like
I guess so. Why does he need amplification tools? Can't he just do it like I don't know, there was an X-Men that had something. Banshee from X-Men.
Yes. Banshee was also stupid.
Yeah, there are a lot of dumb X-Men.
I don't really just like American superheroes in general.
I'm not a superhero fan in general, honestly.
Yeah.
The Tick was fantastic. But the Tick doesn't take itself seriously.
I like Freakazoid too.
Freakazoid is fun, yeah. Yeah, we had...
The only real big heavy one to talk about this week was Journal with Witch. The other two were just...
I would be afraid if Journal with Witch wasn't heavy.
It's like building up to make you be okay with like a Yasu scene or some shit.
Oh, no. I can't think of any anime that's ever done that. There is one anime that I am very surprised the main character did not remove themselves from the plane of the story. It's an anime called Koikaze, and it's a really, really well-written romance, kind of, between siblings. It's really, it's really good. It's a really good story. But like, it gets to the point where the main character who has proceeded with emotions and been reciprocated, and then he's like, "Oh God, oh no, what have we done?" And I'm surprised he survived the series. It's a good story. Anyways.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Journal with Witch was, I'm still reconciling the emotional weight of that episode. Jujutsu Kaisen was...
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Wasted time. MHA was fine. I mean, it was fun. The Aizawa background thing is fun. But yeah, it kind of...
MHA continues to stay fun.
Yeah. I mean, it just spun its wheels, but it...
Not a bad way, though.
It was more acceptable than JJK spinning its wheels.
I think Vigilante being the way it is, I'm okay. And I will continue to say that the series is going strong.
Yeah, no, I don't regret watching it.
No, I like the series.
Yeah,
I want to continue watching. I want to keep consuming. This backstory is like so engaging that I'm invested.
It's good.
Usually a backstory, I'm like,
we really need this.
But this one, I'm just like,
we don't really need it, but it's still enjoyable.
I know. Regardless. I'm just like, tell me more. Continue to do your awesome storytelling, Vigilante.
It's going to be really interesting to see how this ties into the present story beyond just like setting the understanding of why Eraserhead is the way he is.
Crabby old bastard.
Yeah. I just hope they land it.
Also, I didn't realize that All Might is like decades older than Aizawa.
Okay.
Because when Aizawa's in high school,
All Might is still
it's like
All Might.
30 or 40. And by the time we get to the time period of the main story, All Might is in like his 60s or 70s.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Just perpetually dying. All right. Well, thanks for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell so you get notified when we have extra episodes dropping. And do not forget about the Wednesday episodes of the podcast, Weekly Ranma, where we are chugging along, talking about all of the old OAVs for the original anime adaptation of Ranma 1/2. We'll check you guys next time.